What is going on, everyone? This is Eric coming at you from just outside of Hartford, Connecticut. And today we're going to discuss one of the more impactful trades in the NHL of the past decade as we look at the PK Subban-Shea Weber swap, which occurred back on June 29th, 2016. Now, I was actually in a Walmart parking lot when this trade happened, and I remember it because I was so surprised when this trade was announced. It was such a big day for hockey. There were a bunch of moves that day. But this trade saw the Nashville Predators acquire defenseman PK Subban from Montreal in exchange for defenseman Shea Weber. So how did this trade work out? We'll start by discussing the Nashville Predators, who got PK Subban. And Subban, he had a good first year in Nashville. He scored 10 goals to go with 30 assists, and he helped lead the Predators to the Stanley Cup final, but they would unfortunately lose to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Subban had a solid playoff performance as he would score a pair of goals to go with 10 assists. Now, he had a strong second year in Nashville as he would record 16 goals with 43 assists, 111 hits, and 90 blocks. Unfortunately, he did regress in the 18-19 season as he would only score 9 goals to go with 22 assists. He had 75 blocks, but only 56 hits. Now, he was a one-time All-Star for the Predators before he was surprisingly traded to the New Jersey Devils in exchange for 4 assets, a pair of defensemen and a pair of draft picks. So we will start by discussing the 2 defensemen. The first one we'll look at is Steven Santini. And Santini, he struggled to make an impact for the team. He would only appear in 2 games at the NHL level, spending the rest of his time in the organization in the AHL before being waived. They also got defenseman Jeremy Davies. And Davies, he made his debut in the 2021 season because he was a prospect at the time of this trade. And he didn't do much, but, he still has potential. You can't ever write someone off after they just made their debut. Now, they also got a pair of draft picks, and both these picks were traded away. So we'll start by looking at the 2019 second-round pick. This would become the 34th pick, and it was traded to Philadelphia in exchange for a pair of draft picks, the 45th and 65th. So with the 45th pick in the 2019 draft, the Nashville Predators would select left wing Igor Afanasiev, and he's been playing well in the OHL right now. But he played well in the OHL, I should say, but he's currently on loan in the KHL. So we'll have to see. It's always suspect when players are on loan in the KHL. It means they might just never come back. Now with the 65th pick, they would select another left wing in Alexander Campbell. And Campbell, he played the 2020-2021 season in the NCAA, so he's been playing college hockey. So we'll have to see. He still has one more year before he has to be signed. So they have his rights, basically. Now, Nashville also got a 2020 second-round pick in exchange for Subban, and that would become the 37th pick. It would be traded to the Minnesota Wild in exchange for 2 assets. The first one we'll look at is center Luke Kunin. And Kunin, he's been an okay second-line winger on a okay Nashville team. Nothing great with him. They also got a 2020 pick. That would become the 101st pick. With that, they would select defenseman Adam Wilsby, and Wilsby is currently playing in Sweden, so you never know. So Nashville got some decent assets. What did Montreal get? So they got defenseman Shea Weber. Originally this trade looked like it was going to be heavily in Nashville's favor, but the tides have kind of turned to an extent. He had a strong year offensively, though, for Montreal in his first year, as he would record 17 goals with 25 assists, along with 157 blocks and 140 hits. Now, the problem was, in the 17-18 season, he would only appear in 26 games after he tore a tendon in his foot. So he would only score 6 goals with 10 assists. Now, before the 18-19 season, he was named captain of the Canadiens, and he responded with a 14-goal, 19-assist season. Now, he had a strong year in the 2019-20 season, as he would record 15 goals and 21 assists, while also getting 114 blocks and 112 hits. Now, 2021 was a solid year. He had 6 goals and 13 assists, but he ended up dealing with an injury towards the end of the year. Now, he would come back during the playoffs, and he had a solid showing in the playoffs, but after the season came to an end, it was announced that he was probably not going to play in the 2021-22 season. So that was a big loss for Montreal, and it's basically at this point rumored that he very well might be done for his career. So it's a real tough loss for Montreal. At least you got him to a cup final. He's been a great captain for the team. He's been a great leader. But unfortunately, it looks like his career may be coming to an end, an unceremonious end at that. So next we have the New Jersey Devils, who got defenseman PK Subban. And Subban, he had a rough 1920 season as he would score only 7 goals with 11 assists. And he had an okay, defensive numbers as well, 90 blocks with 88 hits. He did have a slight bounce back in the 2021 season as he did record 5 goals with 14 assists, but his defensive numbers took a hit. He was starting off the season decently, but then he just cooled off as the season went on, kind of like the Devils themselves. So next we have the Flyers, who got the 34th pick in the 2019 draft. With that, they would select right wing Bobby Brink, and Brink is currently playing college hockey as well. So, there's still time. They haven't signed him yet, I don't believe. Lastly, we have the Minnesota Wild, who got 3 assets from Nashville. The first one we'll look at is center Nick Bonino, and he spent 1 year as an okay third-line wing before walking as a free agent. They also got a pair of draft picks. The first one we'll look at is in 2020, the 37th pick. They would use that to select center Marat Kuznetsov, and he's currently unsigned and is in Russia. He was a projected first-round pick, but he fell because a lot of Russian players fall. And lastly, they got the 70th pick in 2020. They would trade that pick away. We will not be discussing that in this video. So that was the Shea Weber PK Subban swap that occurred just over 5 years ago. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and it was definitely an interesting video. I mean, both players did help lead their teams to Stanley Cup appearances, but neither one won, unfortunately. Have a good rest of your day.